Okay, this is lesson 11. So in this lesson, I'm going to solve two questions. So let's see. So the first question, we have this one here. If amount 1 is greater than 10 and amount 2 is less than 100. So if this is true, if both conditions are true, we display amount checked. So be careful, we have logical operator AND. It means both conditions must be true. So here we have two ways to solve this question. The first way, using compound condition. The second way is to use nested structure. So this is the first way. So amount 1, amount 2. We need two variables. Amount 1 equals, so let's take two inputs from the user. So as you know, it is optional to have string inside input function. But in order to inform the user, in order to inform them what's happening, it's better to have a message. Enter the value of amount 1. And let's have the same thing for amount 2. But let's change amount 1 to amount 2 and this one right here. So we take two values from the user. So the first way, let's use compound condition. So it says if amount 1 greater than 10, we have the logical operator AND amount 2 less than 100. If both of them are true, this one is true and this one is true. So if both of them are true, you simply print amount checked. So what if one of them is false, or what if both of them are false? So you can't print anything. So in that case, you might have else statement. Print, let's output wrong values. So here we have AND, it means both conditions must be true to print amount checked. So let's save and run. So enter the value of amount 1, I say 23. Amount 2, I say 76. So it says amount checked. Now, let's check the code. So amount 1 is 23, 23 greater than 10. This one is true, and amount 2 less than 100, 76 is less than 100. This one is also true. So we have true and true. We print amount checked. Should I consider else statements? No. So if this one is true, you skip the rest, because we have if-else structure. But if both of them are false or one of them is false, you come here and you print wrong values. Now let's try the other scenario. Run module. So this time, let's say we have 7, which is less than 10, and here 450. So it says wrong values. So what's happening here? 7 greater than 10, this one is false, and amount 2 less than 100, 450 less than 100. This is also false. We have false and false, the answer is false. And you can't print amount checked. You come here and you print wrong values. Remember, you never write a condition next to else. Else, just else, without any condition. But if you have if or elif, you must write a condition or some conditions. Now let me comment out this part. So the second way, I'm going to use nested conditionals. So let me use these two here. Amount 1, amount 2. If amount 1 greater than 10. So this time I'm not using and, the logical operator, colon. Now let's make it nested. Another if statement. If amount 2 less than 100. Colon. Now let's print amount checked. So you have to be careful about nested structure. So let's say this one is true. You come here and you check. This one is also true. No problem, you print amount checked. What if this one is true, but this one is false? So basically you have a wrong value. So in that case, you can't print amount checked. So it's better to have one else for this if. And you can print wrong value or any other message that you want. So what if this one is false? So if this one is false, you can't come inside here. So if this one is false, you want to print wrong values. Now let's have another else for this if. Else print, let's say, wrong value. So this part that you can see here belongs to this if because we have nested structure. So inside this if we have another if and we have one else. So this is nested structure. So this one is true. You come here, you check if this one is true or not. This one is false. You simply come here and you print wrong value. Now let's save and run. I say 14 and amount 2, let's say 70.98. So it says amount checked. Now let's open the code and see what's happening here. 14 greater than 10, is it true? Yes, this one is true. 70.98 less than 100, this one is also true. You print amount checked. So ignore this part, no need to consider this part, and no need to consider this part. Because this one was true, and this one was true. So this is nested structure. Now let me comment out this part as well, and let's go to this question right here. So it says assign number 0 to a variable named b. Now let's declare a variable and name it b equals. So I'm going to use, let's say we have integers. So it is optional to have something here. So I leave it empty. If a variable named a is less than 100. So if the value of a is less than 100, you assign 0 to b. So basically, you're going to change the value of b. Otherwise, assign 99 to the variable b. So let's have another input function for a. So in this question, it's not necessary to have a value for b. No need to take anything from the user for b, but I want to show how we can change the value of a variable. Now let's use a condition. If a less than 100. If this one is true, it says assign 0 to variable b. So how to assign something to a variable using assignment operator. So we say b equals, we want to assign 0 or any other value. So the value on the right. So it doesn't mean that b equals 0. It means you assign 0 to the variable b. So you can say you're overwriting the value of b, or you reassign a new value to b. So what if this one is false? If this one is false, you can have else, because the question says otherwise assign 99 to the variable b. So otherwise b equals 99, or you assign 99 to variable b. So to see what has happened, we can have a print function after everything to see our code works properly. A, some blank spaces, B. Now let's run the module. I say 23 for B and 55 for A. So we have 55 and 0. Let's open the code. So here, 55 is the value of A, you can see here. 55 less than 100. We assign 0 to B. And remember, we have if-else structure. So if one of them is true, no need to check else. This one is false, you come and check else. And then we have 55 and 0. So this time, let's say we have a number greater than 100. I say 200 for B, and for A, 460. Let's check the code. 460 less than 100. This one is false. So this time you go to else statement and you assign 99 to B. You print A and B. A is 460, B is 99. What was the original value of B? The original value was 200. So that was all for these two questions. Now let's solve two more examples and finish the lesson. So this is one question. Let's analyze the question. Let's see what's happening here. What we have, what we don't have. So here we take one input from the user and the name of the variable is n. So as you can see, we have if inside another if. So this is nested structure. And let me show the indentations. We have indentation here, 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 and here. So let's say the value of n equals 800. So 800 greater than 0. Yes, we are here. This one is true. We go to this part. 800 mod 2 equals 0. Is the remainder of this division is 0? Yes, this is 0. This one is true. Now we come here. 800 greater than 100. Is it true? This one is true. Now we come here. 800 less than 999. Is it true? This one is also true. So all of them are true. Now you are allowed to print correct. So this is one scenario. Let's say n equals 0. So this is our input. So this one was our output again. Input, sorry. Input and here input. So n equals 0. 0 equals 0. Is it true? Yes, this one is true. You simply print 0. But remember, if you take the input, you check from the beginning. 0 greater than 0. This one is false. So this one is false because 0 is not greater than 0. And we have if, elif, else structure. So this one is false. You come here. This one is true. You skip the rest. No need to check any other conditions. But 0 greater than 0 was false. Now we are here. 0 equals 0. We print 0. Now what if I say minus 250 as the input? Minus 250 greater than 0. False. Now let's check elif. Minus 250 equals 0. Again false. Now else you print negative, and you can see we have one if inside else. Now let's check minus 250 less than minus 100. This one is true. You print small number. So you print negative and small number because we have reached else part. The first two conditions were false. And the last example for this lesson, again, we have nested structure. Now let's say this is our input, n equals 300. Now let's check 300 greater than or equal to 100. Is it true? This one is true. Now we are here. 300 equals 0. Is it true? This one is false. So this part was false. We have if, else. You go to else part and you print positive. Now let's say n equals minus 2. Minus 2 greater than or equal to 100. Is it true? No, this one is false. We are here. This one is false. We have if, else. Now you come to else and you print negative. So that was all for this lesson. As usual, take care and bye-bye.